Hello everyone, it's me Sanjay Vasu back again for another video. This time I'm going to be doing it on Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 3 Core for May or June 2022. Let's start. Question 1. The diagram shows three quadrilaterals on a 1 centimeter square is good. A. Write down the mathematical name of quadrilateral A. Over here, quadrilateral A is having two sides equal here, two sides equal here. It's as if two triangles are combined together. This is actually a kite. B. Find the area of quadrilateral A. Let's go back. Take these two triangles here to be one square. This one here and this one here to be one square. Same for the bottom of that. 3. And these two are equal halves. So that's another one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeters squared. See, now we need to describe fully this single transformation that maps quadrilateral A onto quadrilateral B and quadrilateral C. These two are the quadrilaterals given here, D and C. So this is actually for quadrilateral B. That's the first part. Now we can actually see that quadrilateral B is larger than quadrilateral A, so we know that this is an enlargement. Now we need to find the scale factor. Now we'll go back to the quadrilaterals. Now we can see that length of this side is actually going from this point minus 4, 5. It goes 3 units right to this point and then 1 unit down to the next corner of the quadrilateral. But when we take from the corresponding points of those, it goes from this point, which is 0, 8, and then it goes 6 units right and then 2 units down. So I'm going to just write that down like this: 3 units right, 1 unit down. And this one here, 6 units right and 2 units down. So now when you multiply 3 into 2, we get 6. Multiply 1 into 2, we get 2. Because we need to see the changing or the transformation of quadrilateral A into B, that means the scale factor will be 2. Now we found the scale factor. Now we have to find the center of enlargement. So let's go back to our quadrilaterals A and B. Now I'll just erase these for some clarity. We can see that if we take any two corresponding points, for example these two, which are the leftmost corners of the quadrilaterals, so we take these two, the distance between them over here, we get 2 units up and 3 units right from the point on quadrilateral A to the one on quadrilateral B. Now we need to do the same thing one more time in the opposite direction. So because 3 units right here, now we go left from this point. So 1, 2, 3 units left. Same way, instead of going up, we go down. So 3 units left and 2 units down. We get to this point right here. And I'll just mark 3 units and 2 units here. So this is just because the scale factor 2, we need to make this same distance be traveled twice. Because the distance which you need to travel from getting to the point in quadrilateral B, then to the point in quadrilateral A, that's one time. And after the second time, we get to the center of enlargement, which is this point in the case -8, 2. That's the answer. And to quadrilateral C. Now when we see quadrilateral A and quadrilateral C, let's take any two corresponding points. I'll take the rightmost corners. So when we take these two corners and find the difference between them in distance, we can see there will be 10 centimeters difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 centimeters. So there's no difference in the x-axis, which means it's not going left or right. It's not going like that. It's only going in a downwards direction from A to C. If we take any two corresponding points, it'll be the same way. They will all have a distance of 10 centimeters from one to the other in the y-axis. Now we can see because of this, and these are in the same orientation, this points kind of towards the right side, like this. Therefore, they have the same orientation. So because of this, and because the distance is only in the y-axis, we can say that this is a reflection. And now we need to find the line along which it's reflection. So we can see that there's 10 centimeter difference. So we need to find a line where these 2 points are the same distance from each other, no matter which point you choose on the line. In other words, the perpendicular bisector of this 10 centimeter line. It is the locus of this line, which means any point on the line given as a locus is the same distance from one corner of the line to the other corner of the line. So this distance, these two distances, will always be equal. Doesn't matter which point you take on the line, these distances will always be equal. For example, just these 3 points which I have taken on the line. This distance shown by the arrows which I have drawn will always be equal. And this is the reflection line, which is actually the line of y equals minus 1. So it's a reflection from A to C along the line y equals minus 1. That's the answer. Now we can move on to part D. On the grid, draw the image of quadrilateral C after a 90 degrees anti-clockwise rotation above the origin. Now we need to find the quadrilateral C after a 90 degrees anti-clockwise rotation about the origin. The origin is this point here. Now, when we take the origin point and see it with quadrilateral C, now we need to go in an anti-clockwise direction, which is the direction of this arrow here. We can see that these lines have divided the graph into 4 quadrants. There's one quadrant where y and x are positive, plus plus. One where x is negative and y is positive, minus plus. One where both are negative, minus minus. And one quadrant where x is positive and y is negative. That's the last one. Quadrilateral C is inside the minus minus quadrant, which is x is negative and y is also negative. Now if it goes 90 degrees anti-clockwise about the origin here, that means it'll go into the plus minus quadrant, or where x is positive and y is negative. Now we know that it is inside this quadrant here when we rotate about the origin. Let's take the distance from the origin to this point, for example. That is 1 left and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units downwards. That's notated by the point coordinates of minus 1, minus 6. Now we need to make it so that the same distance is followed, but in a direction which is 90 degrees anti-clockwise from the starting. So if we're going left, now if you turn this direction 90 degrees anti-clockwise, make it down. Because when going left and going down, this is 90 degrees anti-clockwise rotation. Now, when we go downwards, it will become right, this direction. So if we go left and down, this time it'll go down and right. So it'll come into this point of 6, minus 1. Now, when we rotate this shape anti-clockwise 90 degrees, it'll become in the form of this kind of a formation of the shape. So this will be the top one, and then we can draw lines like this to form the shape, the quadrilateral. How am I drawing it in these exact directions? It's because it's the same length and direction as the original quadrilateral. This has not been changed. So this is the answer for part D1. And now for part D2, reflection in line x equals 1. First, let's draw x equals 1, which is this line here. X equals 1. Now, we can reflect this shape C in this line. Now, let's take this point. It is 2 centimeters away from the point on the line, which is the shortest distance from it. And when we take another 2 centimeters in the same direction, we will get the reflection point or the image of that point. Now, in this way, for the next point, it's 5 centimeters. So we go another 5 centimeters to get this point. And now, same way, this is 6 centimeters shortest distance from the line. So 6 centimeters in the other direction comes here. For the last point, it's also 5 centimeters, like this. 5 centimeters distance, same way, over here, to get the final point there. Now we can simply connect these points. Now that's the answer for part D2. And that ends the question. Question 2. A. Use set notation to describe the shaded region. So it's everything inside the circles A and B. And for doing this, we have a particular notation. It's called the union symbol. This U-shaped symbol over here. It's read as A union B. That's the answer. B. Universal set is equal to x, where x is a natural number less than or equal to 16. 1. Write down all the square numbers in the universal set. So there will be all the numbers from 1, 2, and then it goes on to 16. In these, square numbers are 1, 4, 9, and 16, where 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, and 4 square is 16. 2. Write down the 6 prime numbers in this universal set. First we have 2, 3, then 5, 7. We have 11 and 13. These are the only 6 prime numbers. If we write any other numbers, your answer is wrong. 3. M equals x, where x is a multiple of 3. F equals x, where x is a factor of 15. A. Complete the Venn diagram to show the elements of these sets. We already have 2, 11, 7, 8, 13, 16, 1, and 9 in the diagram here. So now we have 1 and 2 completed. Now where's 3? 3 is a multiple of 3 and a factor of 15. So it's there in both sets. It's in the intersection. 4. It's not a multiple of 3. It's not a factor of 15. So it's like all the other numbers. It's outside. What about 5? So 5 is not a multiple of 3, but it is a factor of 15. So we can make it in the factor of 15 set F, like this. 6, it is a multiple of 3, but not a factor of 15. So we can put it in here. 7, 8, and 9 are already given. So we move on to 10. 10 is not a multiple of 3 and not a factor of 15. So it is outside. 11 is already given, but 12. So 12 is a multiple of 3. It's not a factor of 15, so you put it over here. 13 is already given. 14 is not multiple of 3 or factor of 15, so it's outside. 15 is a factor of 15 and a multiple of 3. That means it's counted inside both of them. And 16 is already given, which is the final number. Have we written all 16 numbers? 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. So that's 16 numbers, and that's correct. So we've written all the numbers in the correct places. That's the answer. B, write down all the odd numbers that are not in set M or set F. So let's go back. Odd numbers which are outside both of these sets. So that is 11, 7, 13. There are three numbers. So we can write it like this. 7, 11, 13. That's the answer. C, find n of M intersection F. This inverted U is an intersection sign, spelled like this. So what is there in both of them? So what is included in both sets? So when we go back and see what's M intersection F, it is this small area right here, which is present in both M and F. In that place, there are two numbers, 15 and 3. Because they asked for the n, which means number of items inside M and F, that means we can say 2 items, or 2 numbers. That's the answer. D, a number is chosen at random from the universal set. Find the probability that this number is in set F, which is this set. So how many numbers are there in that set? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. And how many numbers are there totally? Because it consists of all the whole numbers from 1 to 16, there are 16 numbers. Out of that, 4 are in set F. So the probability will simply be 4 by 16. Although this can be written as 1 by 4, which simplified, I'll just leave it as 4 by 16. That's the answer. Question 3. Mr. Zhang, his wife, and 3 children go on a holiday from Shanghai to Auckland. A. The flight for an adult costs $630. The cost for a child is 5/8 of the adult cost. So the total cost is $2,441 to the nearest dollar. So the cost for a child is equal to 5/8 of $630. Let's get that calculator out. Now 5 divided by 8 into 630, which is $393.75 for one child. Now Mr. Zhang and his wife are 2 adults. So 2 into adult cost, which is A. And then the 3 children, so 3 into child cost, which is C. It's equal to 2 into 630. And then we add 3 into this value here. And then we get 1260 plus 1181.25, which is equal to $2,441.25, which is equal to $2,441 to the nearest dollar. That's the answer. B. The plane leaves Shanghai at 20:05 local time on 13 November. The plane stops for 2 hours 30 minutes at Sydney. The plane lands in Auckland at 17:25 local time on 14th November. The local time in Auckland is 5 hours ahead of the local time in Shanghai. 1. Work out how long the plane is flying in hours and minutes. So local time in Auckland, 5 hours ahead of local time in Shanghai. That means this is the local time in Auckland. So local time in Shanghai, so landing time in Shanghai, which I'll write as S, that will be 12:25 p.m. Or you can write it as 12:25 hours. Now there's a 2 hour 30-minute layover in Sydney. So the time will also decrease by 2 hour 30 minutes. So minus the layover time is equal to 12:25 minus 2:30, which is 9:55 hours. So it's practically that the flight flew from 20:05 to 9:55. So let's make each of these 12 hours before. So this is 9:55 the next day, because 14th November. Now, because of this, we can just minus 12 hours. So it'll be 8:05 a.m. So 8:05 hours for the starting time, and the landing time will be 21:55 hours, which is 9:55 p.m. So we can do that, and we get 13 hours and 15 minutes. That's the answer. 2. Write the answer to part B in hours corrected to these decimal places. So that's equal to 13 5 by 6 hours. Do that on a calculator. 13 plus 5 by 6 is equal to 13.833 hours to 3 decimal places. That's the answer. 3. The flight distance from Shanghai to Sydney is 7,882 kilometers. Flight distance from Sydney to Auckland is 2156 kilometers. Find the total distance the plane flies. So total distance is the distances, both of them added. So let's use a calculator. 7882 plus 2156, we get 10,038 kilometers. 4. Find the average speed of the plane when it is flying. So we found the answer, 10,038 kilometers. So that's the distance. And then by time, the time we found in the previous question, which is 13.833 hours. So let's divide that by 13.833. We get approximately 725.66 kilometers per hour. That's the answer. See, the holiday expenses are in the ratio hotel is to car hire is to food is equal to 8 is to 5 is to 6. The total cost of the hotel is $2,400. So the total cost of the holiday expenses is $5,700. So $2,400 is equal to 8 parts, which is the hotel. So 1 part is equal to 2,400 by 8, which is equal to $300. Now, how many parts are there in total? 8 plus 5 plus 6, which is 19 parts. So 19 parts is equal to 300 into 19, which is $5,700. That's the answer. Question 4. A. 1. Write down the mathematical name of this polygon. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides, which means this is a regular octagon. 2. Show that the interior angle is 135 degrees. So first let's find the exterior angle. So the exterior angle is equal to 360 by n, which is 8 because 8 sides, which is 45 degrees. So the interior angle is equal to 180 minus exterior angle, 180 minus 45, which is equal to 135 degrees. That's the answer. B. A sequence of diagrams is made by joining these polygons. Diagram 1, diagram 2, diagram 3. So they are joining the octagons to make some diagrams. 1. Complete the table. The diagram number and then the number of lines. So there's 8 lines in this because 1 octagon. 2 octagons, but they share one side, so we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 over here, 14, and 1 more, 15. Now the third one is the same amount, 15 over here, and then we add another 7. So that becomes 22. And then for the fourth one, we add another 7, 29. Fifth one, we get 36. 2, write down the term-to-term rule for a number of lines in sequence. Add 7. Because we add 7 from one term to the next. Or 3. Work out the number of lines in diagram 9. So I slightly explained this question with respect to question 4. So I'll do the fourth part first. Find an expression in terms of n for a number of lines in diagram n. So go back. So first 8, 15, 22, 29, 36. So we add 7 to the previous term. That's why term-to-term rule. So let's take n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is just the ascending order of numbers in natural numbers. Now 7n, because we have to add 7, we'll do that. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, so on. Now you can see that when we add 1 to all of these, we get the sequence terms. I'll go back here to show. 7 plus 1 is 8, 14 plus 1 is 15, 21 plus 1 is 22, 28 plus 1 is 29, and 35 plus 1 is 36. So when you add 1 to all of these, we get all the sequence numbers. So 7n plus 1 is equal to the sequence. That's the answer. And using this, we can find part 3, number of lines in diagram 9. So when n is equal to 9, 7 into 9 plus 1, which is 63 plus 1, which is 64. Now let's go to part 5. Diagram K has 113 lines. Find the value of K. This means that 7K plus 1 is equal to 113. We just replace the n with the k and put 113 as the answer. So 7k is equal to 113 minus 1, which is equal to 112. That means k is equal to 112 by 7, which is equal to 16. So this is actually pattern number 16. That's the answer. Question 5. A. Work out the number of days in 7 weeks. So 1 week is 7 days. So 7 weeks is 7 to 7, which is 49 days. That's the answer. B. The summit of Mount Everest is 8,848 meters above sea level. Aiding Lake is 154 meters below sea level. Work out the difference between these places in height meters. So we can simply do 8848 minus negative 154. Because below sea level, we'll take as negative. We need to subtract to find the difference. So that's equal to 8,848 plus 154, which becomes 9,002 meters. That's the difference. C. Find two integers that have a sum of negative 12 and a product of 32. So now we see the integers which have a sum of negative 12 and product of 32. We can get as negative 8 and negative 4. When we add both of them, we get negative 12. So I'll just write that down. Negative 8 plus negative 4 is negative 12. And negative 8 into negative 4 is equal to 32. So you can write this as the answer. D. Write 3 by 8 as a decimal and a percentage. So 3 by 8 can be written as 0.375. You can use a calculator and check it, it will be this. And the percentage you need to multiply by 100, so it's 37.5%. E. Write down the reciprocal of 1 by 9. It's just the inverse, which means when you multiply 1 by 9 into something that's called as y, we get 1. So we can say that 1 by 9 into 9 is equal to 1, therefore the reciprocal is 9. F finds the value of 1, 4 to the power 5, and 2, cube root of 512. So 4 to the power 5 is actually equal to 1024. And for part 2, cube root of 512, when we calculate it, it becomes 8. That's the answer. G. 1. Write 587,000 in standard form. we can make the decimal point go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places ahead. So that means it'll be 5.87 into 10 to the power 5 because they're 5 places ahead. That's the answer. 2. Calculate 4.9 into 10 power minus 3 plus 8.1 into 10 to the power minus 4. Give your answer in standard form. So let's make this into 10 to the power minus 3. So that will be 4.9 into 10 to the power minus 3 plus, when you bring it into 10 to the power minus 3, we need to move the decimal place 1 place to the left. So you get 0.81 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Yes, this is not in standard form. We're going to make it into standard form at the end. So this will be 5.71 into 10 to the power minus 3, which is in standard form. That's the answer. H. The height, h meters, of a fence post is 2.43 meters. Go back to the nearest centimeter. Complete a statement about the value of h. One thing we need to do is, we take 2.43 meters, but then we convert it to the nearest centimeter. So that means we actually have to convert this to 243 centimeters. 2.43 meters is equal to 243 centimeters. So this is to the nearest centimeter. So we need to find the upper bound and the lower bound of it. Now, the lower bound should be before the h and the upper bound should be above the h. So we find the lower bound, LB, is equal to, for nearest centimeter, that means you need to make this decrease by half a centimeter. So that means the lower bound will be equal to 242.5 centimeters. And now the upper bound, for the lower bound we decreased half a centimeter, we did a minus. Over here, because an upper bound, it'll be increased, it'll be higher value. So that means we just have to add half centimeter. And that means we get 243.5 centimeters. And this can be converted to 2.425 meters and 2.435 meters. Why are we converting it to meters? Because we actually have the height in h meters. So that means the values for lower and upper bound should also be meters, right? So that means 2.425 less than equal to h less than 2.435. That's the answer. 6. Maria owns a restaurant with 30 tables. One day she records the number of customers at each table at 7 p.m. The bar chart shows the result. They write down the mode for first part. So we have the bar with 4, that's the tallest bar over here. So we can write number of customers 4 as the mode. 2. Find the range. So that's the difference between the highest and lowest number of customers at each table. So that's 6 minus 1. 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. That's the answer. 3. Calculate the mean. So we need to multiply the values of the number of customers and the number of tables for each of these 6 bars given here. So that means 1 into 2 plus 2 into 7 plus 3 into 3 plus 4 into 9 plus 5 into 4 plus 6 into 5. And we divide the full thing by the total number of tables, which is 30. Let's use a calculator. 1 into 2, that's 2. Plus 2 into 7, 14. Plus 3 into 3, that's 9. Add 4 into 9, 36. And add 5 into 4, 20. Add 6 into 5, 30. And we divide this whole thing by 30 to get 3.7. That's the answer. B. On the same day, she also recorded the number of customers at each table at 1 p.m. The results are shown in the table. So the number of customers and number of tables are shown in this table for 1 p.m. results. Write down 2 comments comparing the results from 7 p.m. with the results from 1 p.m. First thing we can see is the mode, since we found that in part A1 for 7 p.m. So the mode at 7 p.m. is 4. But when we see for 1 p.m., the most frequency or the most number in this row, the highest number is 13. That means the mode is 2. And because that's lesser, that means at 1 p.m. the mode is lesser. And now for a second point, we can see that at 7 p.m. the number of customers at each table for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All of them have some amount of tables having that number of customers. So there's probably more number of customers at the restaurant at 7 p.m. To the 1 p.m. table, there's a frequency value, number of tables. There's a value for the first 4 till 4 customers. But for 5 and 6, there's 0 tables with those customer values. So at 1 p.m. there are lesser customers at each table. At 1 p.m. there are lesser customers at each table. That's the answer. C. 270 meals are ordered one day at the restaurant. The table shows the number of each type of meal. So the meals are meat, fish, and vegetarian. Number is 117, 99, and 54. So the sector angle is 72 for 54. So when we divide both sides by 18, 3 meals is 4 degrees. So 99 is 33 into 3. So that means we get 4 into 33, which is 132 degrees. And 117 is 39 into 3. So for a pie chart sector angle, it will be 39 into 4, which is 156 degrees. And number 2, complete the pie chart. Now I'm not going to show you exactly how it's done. I'm just going to show you what you need to do to complete this question. So this is the starting line. You need to put your protractor here and then mark an angle of 156 degrees like that, and then draw your line going like that. So this is 156 degrees and this is meat. Now for fish, it's 132 degrees. So that will be around like this. If you measure it with a protractor, you'll get a more accurate measurement. And we can mark as 132 and fish. And now the remaining will be always 72 degrees, and that will be vegetarian. That's the answer. Question 7. A. Complete the table of values for y equals 15 by x and x is not equal to 0. So x is negative 15, that means y is negative 1. How? Simply substitute the x value into the equation, we get the y value. Now negative 10 already given, negative 5, y will be negative 3. Negative 2, y will be negative 7.5. 2, y will be 7.5. 5, y will be 3. 10, y will be 1.5. And 15, y will be 1. B. On the grid, draw the graph of y equals 15 by x, where these values minus 15 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1, and 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 15. So let's plot these points. Minus 15, comma minus 1. So it's there. Let's mark the point. And now minus 10, comma minus 1.5. Down there. So now minus 5, comma minus 3. This will be there. Minus 3, comma minus 5. Over here. Minus 2, comma minus 7.5. Like that. And minus 1, comma minus 15. That's it. And now we can draw the upper curve in a similar fashion. 1, 15, 2, 7.5, 3, 5, 5, 3, 10, 1.5, and 15, 1. Now we can simply choose the curves like this and like this. I know it's not going exactly on the dots, but if you draw it with freehand, that means you will get it on the dots. This graph does not have an x equals 0. Do you realize? Nothing comes on the y-axis where x is always equal to 0. There's no points on the y-axis, even the most extremes. There are no points on the y-axis exactly. They come very close, they're not right there. This is also called a reciprocal graph. Let's move on. See, write down the order of rotational symmetry of the graph. Well, the reciprocal graphs always have order of rotational symmetry too. You can see that also over here. When you rotate it 180 degrees, this one will become this, and vice versa. So it'll say the same thing. Is the answer. D. 1 on the grid, draw the lines of symmetry of the graph. And 2, write down the equation of the line of symmetry that does not intersect the graph. Let's go here right now. So there are two lines of symmetry, one going from the bottom left corner to the top right, and the other going from the bottom right corner to the top left. So these two lines are actually called y equals x and y equals minus x. So which one does not intersect the graph? It's this one which I marked, y equals minus x. Now E, use your graph to solve the equation 15 by x equals minus 6. Y is equal to minus 6. Why am I calling this y is equal to minus 6? Because when we go back and see the equation of the graph, which we drawn here, it's actually y equals 15 by x. So when we come back here, so if y equals 15 by x is equal to this equation, that means y will be equal to minus 6 when we substitute it. Now we'll go back to the graph to find x. Okay, so y is equal to minus 6 over here. X is approximately equal to minus 2.5. And that's the answer. X is equal to minus 2.5. Question 8. A. In the diagram, PQ equals PR and QRS is a straight line. 1. Write down the mathematical name of triangle PQR, which is this triangle. So because there are two sides which are equal in length, so this is an isosceles triangle. That's the answer. 2. Work out angle QPR, which is this angle here. So you can find out this angle, which is angle PRQ. So angle PRQ is equal to 180 minus 114, which will be 66 degrees. And the same thing will be for PQR. Both of them are 66 degrees. So angle QPR is equal to 180 minus 66 minus 66, which will make 48 degrees. That's the answer. B. In the diagram, D, E, and F are points on a circle center O. AB is a tangent to the circle at E. Lines AB and CD are parallel and angle BED is 68 degrees. 1. Find angle CDE and give a reason for your answer. So angle CDE is this angle, and it's actually 68 degrees because these two are parallel and these two angles are alternate angles. That's the answer. Angle CDE is 68 degrees because alternate angles. equal. That's the answer. 2. Find angle DEF and give a reason for your answer. Let's go back. Angle DEF, which is this angle. We know that a tangent and a radius meet at 90 degrees. So you can show this as 90 degrees. So now this angle will be 90 minus 68, which is equal to 22 degrees. So angle DEF is equal to 22 degrees because tangent and radius meet at 90 degrees. That's the answer. Part 3. Work out angle EFD. Write down the two further geometrical properties needed to find angle EFD. Now let's go back to our diagram. EFD is this angle over here. First thing you can realize is this angle is inside this triangle here. One of the three angles in the triangle of EFD. And the second thing is, we can see that FE is a diameter as given in the question because it is a line which passes through the center and the two ends of the line are on the circumference. So this diameter splits the circle into two semicircles. And we know that when we have the two endpoints of a diameter and two lines are drawn from them which meet at another point on the circumference of the circle, the angle formed by these two lines is always 90 degrees. We can write this angle as 90 degrees. And now, because we know two of the angles, 22 degrees and 90 degrees, we can find the third angle, which is 180 minus 90 minus 22, which is equal to 68 degrees. How? Because, of course, we know that angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. 90 plus 68 here plus 22. So angle EFD is equal to 68 degrees. Let's write that down there, 68 degrees. And the two further geometrical properties needed. So first thing is angles in the semicircle are 90 degrees. So angle in a semicircle is always 90 degrees. And the second one is angles in a triangle. Angles in the triangle sum up to 180 degrees. That's the answer. See, POQ is a sector of a circle, center O and radius 7.5 centimeters. The sector angle is 60 degrees. Calculate the length of the arc, PQ. So that's the circumference of the circle, the full circle which is formed, multiplied by the angle X divided by 360. Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r and multiplied by angle POQ by 360 degrees. Now we can substitute the values. 2 pi into 7.5 multiplied by 60 by 360. That's equal to 15 pi into 1 by 6 when we simplify this fraction. Now we can use a calculator for this. So that'll be 15 into pi and then into 1 by 6, which is divided by 6. And we get approximately 7.85 centimeters. So PQ is equal to 7.85 centimeters. That's the answer. Question 9. Ahmed owns a company. A1. Each year he earns $56,000 plus 3% of the year's profit. Calculate the amount he earns in a year when the profit is $320,600. So that will be 56,000 plus 3 by 100 of 320,600. Why? Because 3 by 100 is equal to 3%. So now let's use a calculator. 3 into 3206. Add 56,000. We get $65,618. That's the answer. 2. In the following year, the profit is $347,851. Calculate the percentage increase in the profit. That's equal to this value minus the original profit, and then the whole thing by the original profit into 100%. We can do that. 347,851 minus 320,600 divided by 320,600 into 100. It's equal to 8.5% profit. That's the answer. B. Ahmed employs 3 people, Budi, Sita, and Dian. Budi earns $17,000, Sita earns $13,600, and Dian earns $6,800. Find out the ratio in simplest form. That's equal to 17,000 is to 13,600 is to 6,800. We can divide by 100, cancel that out. And we can divide by 17 as well. So that's 10 is to 8 is to 4. And then that'll be 5 is to 4 is to 2 when dividing by 2. So Budi is to Sita is to Dian equals 5 is to 4 is to 2. That's the answer. C. Ahmed buys materials from China causing 7,560 yuan. Work out the material cost in dollars when the exchange rate is $1 equals 7.06 yen. If answer collected in US dollar, it's equal to 7560 by 7.06. Now let's use our calculator. 7560 divided by 7.06. $1070.82. And we can write that as $1071 here in US dollar. That's the answer. D. Ahmed borrows $8,000 for 3 years at the rate of 5% per year compound interest. Calculate the amount of interest he will pay at the end of 3 years. Let's first form a formula for this. So the total amount will be equal to the principal amount, which is the starting amount, multiplied by 1 plus r by 100, where r is the percentage, to the power of y, where y is the number of years. So now we can substitute the values of p, r, and y. 8,000 into 1 plus 5 by 100 to the power of 3 is equal to 1 plus 0.05 to the power 3, 1.05 to the power 3, so 1.05 to the power of 3 cubed. That's equal to 8,000 into 1.157625, and we get the answer, which is equal to $9,261. And now we need to subtract this value minus the original money, which was borrowed. And that means he pays $1,261 as the amount of interest at the end of 3 years paid by him. That's the answer. With that, I've come to the end of the video. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share these videos with your friends and family, and comment on how you think this video was. And with this, it's me, Sanjay Vasu, signing out. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.